Hi team, Siobhan here. Excited to work through this flow. Loosen up your legs. It's great if you had a heavy leg day at the gym, long run over the weekend, or just feeling like a little bit tight in your lower body. Try this yoga sequence, which is geared towards just opening up your hips, your hamstrings, IT bands, and calves. So let's get started. Make your way into child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch. Let your knees open up a little bit wider than hips width and reach your arms towards the front of your mat. This is a great way to start to open up the lower body. Might even feel it in your quads, your hamstrings, your hips right off the bat. If it is kind of intense for you, lift your hips a little away from your heels and just ease into a deeper child's pose after a couple breaths. Start to connect with your breath in this position, breathing in and out through your nose, cultivating an ujjayi breath, placing your breath right at the back of your throat. Do your best to keep this breath steady throughout class. Know that it probably will leave you at some point as you move through different positions, different poses, postures. Just keep bringing awareness back to it. Let your mind hook on to your breath as a way to just clear out whatever else is happening up there. Make your way forward to all fours, hands and knees. Take your left leg and stretch it to the back of your mat with just the ball of your foot on the floor. Shift your body forwards and backwards, really pressing out through that left back heel a couple times. Might even feel good to lift the right knee up off the ground as you press the heel back in space, getting even more out of that stretch on the calf, the Achilles. Might even feel it all the way up to the hamstrings. If the knee lifted, place it back down on the ground. Pivot your left heel on over to the right edge of your space for a modified side plank. Lift and stretch your left arm up towards the sky. And kickstand your right shin back behind you. So you can really get a nice stable foundation there. Try to really root down through the left back heel, even like the outside edge of your foot, so that whole back foot is on the floor. Good. So a couple of breaths right there. Take your left arm over your left ear towards the front of your mat. Reach out long through the left middle finger and root down through the outside edge, the pinky toe side of your left back foot. Lower the left hand on down to the floor and square your chest off, your hips off. Cross your left knee behind your right knee and lower your hips back and down for a cross-legged child's pose here. So a couple deep breaths. Don't force yourself into the pose. Let the hips be heavy towards the heels. Unwind all the way back up to all fours here. Stretch your right leg to the back of your mat. Ball of the foot on the floor. Press yourself forwards and backwards a few times, just opening up the back of your right leg. Might even feel it on your wrists too. And then if you lifted the bottom knee up, you can start to lift your back left knee up a few times as you press the right heel backwards in space. Lower the left knee down if it lifted. And pivot your right heel over to the left side. Reach your right arm open towards the ceiling. And you can kickstand your left shin back behind you if you need just a little bit more of a foundation. Reach your right arm up and over your right ear. Make sure that outer edge of the right back foot is still on the ground. Reach out long through the right fingers. One more breath in. Lower your right hand on down to the ground. Allow the hips, the chest to square off, and slide that right knee behind your left knee. Shift the hips back and down. Reach your arms forward. A couple big breaths into the outer hips. Feel them open. Breathe expansive breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Make your way back up to all fours into downward facing dog from there. So lift up your knees, lift your hips up, pedal out the feet a few times. Get comfortable in your downward facing dog. Reach your right leg up and back from down dog. Take a deep breath in. Big step forward with that right foot all the way to the top of your mat. Land in a lunge position here. Hands on either side of the right front foot. Take a breath in and lift your chest up away from your right knee, keeping the fingers and the hands close to the ground. Then exhale, lift your hips up and back, fold forward and down over that right front leg. So you're in a really, really long pyramid position here. Scoot your right sit bone to the back wall. Deep breath in, come forward into that lunge position again. A little lift of the chin, a lift of the chest. Exhale, fold forward and down, straighten the right leg out. One more time. Inhale, come forward and down, bend in the right knee. Exhale and lift the hips up and back, fold forward, hold it here for 2 rounds of breath. Come back to a bend in your right front knee, look to the top of your mat, and big step forward with your left foot. Now take your left foot and step it behind and outside of your right foot. So you land in a cross-legged forward fold. Walk your hands over to the right side of the room. Bend into your right front knee and try and lean your hips a little over to the left side of the room. There's kind of a sway of the hips left, a reach of the upper body over to the right. And you'll probably feel this in the IT band on the left side. Pretty much everyone feels it right there. So you're not alone with that sensation. Do your best not to do this posture with your face. So soften up the muscles in your forehead. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Okay, uncross your feet and walk your hands back through the center. Halfway lift, take a breath. Fold back down, exhale. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Reach and lift your arms high to the sky. Exhale, hands right into heart center. Release the arms alongside your body. Inhale, take them up and over your head once again. Exhale, fold forward and down, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, step the feet to the back of your mat. Chaturanga Dandasana, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. Lift and stretch your left leg up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Land in a lunge with that back right knee still up off the ground. Take a breath in. Exhale and fold forward and down as you lengthen that front left leg out. So just that really long pyramid position in the legs. Oh, inhale, bend the left front knee, come back into a lunge, a little lift of the chest away from your knee and the chin away from the chest. Straighten the leg out, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, left knee bends one more time. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, fold forward and down, hold it there 2 breaths. Work your left sit bone to the back wall. And even a subtle twist of the right side of the body down towards the left knee. Bend into the left knee, look out in front of you, right foot steps to the top of your mat, land in a forward fold for a moment, and right foot steps behind and outside of your left foot. Walk the hands over to the left side, bend into the left front knee, and lean your hips over to the right side of the room. Remember the breath here. Notice if you're holding any tension, a lot of engagement in the shoulders, the upper body. Soften that space and breathe. Direct your breath to your right outer hip. Walk your hands back through the middle, uncross your feet, plant both of the feet, halfway lift, lengthen your spine really long. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, rise up, reach tall. Exhale, hands right into the middle of your chest. Inhale, take the arms back up over your head, even gaze up towards the fingers, fold forward and down, empty the breath. Halfway lift, long spine, high plank, step the feet back or jump back, chaturanga, move through a vinyasa here. Up dog, inhale, open the collarbones, downward facing dog, exhale. Lift and reach your right leg up towards the sky. Take a breath in. Lightly step the right foot forward for high crescent lunge. Reach your arms all the way on up towards the sky, beyond the ball of your left back foot. Find a scissoring action of your inner thighs, so your right hip just shifts slightly back and the left hip a little forward, being really stable in your foundation of your legs here. Really slowly begin to lower your back left knee all the way on down to the floor, landing in just a low lunge there for a moment. Kind of reset as that knee touches down, reach the arms back up towards the ceiling. Maybe even deepen the bend in the right front knee. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, shift the hips backwards, half splits here. So straighten the front leg out, flex your toes towards your face, and work your right sit bone to the back wall. Try to find some length in the spine on an in-breath and some depth in the fold on an out breath. You're going to lift the gaze towards the front of your mat, walk the hands a little bit out and revisit that high crescent lunge. So bend into the right front knee, lift the back left knee, rise up to standing just for a breath in. Open up to warrior two, pivoting the left heel down, stretching the arms long front to back, slight drawing of the right knee over to the right. Inhale and straighten your right leg out. Lift and reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling for high triangle. Exhale into Trikonasana triangle pose. So keep all of the limbs really long here, legs long, arms long. Bring that right hand down to a block, the ground, even like the front of your leg, your shin. Fire up the legs a bit here. So think an inhale sucks your heels in towards one another. Then exhale, try and turn the right side of your ribs up towards your left hand. Lower your left hand on down to the floor and walk the hands over to the left side, finding a wide-legged stance. Pivot the right toes over to the left side of your mat. Find the hands just right inside the legs there. Take a big breath in and lengthen your spine. Just lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward and down. Keep the feet facing the same direction and just walk your hands a little to the left. Bend into your left back knee for a lateral lunge here. Notice how the inner line of your right leg starts to feel. Should feel a little stretch, a bit of sensation on the inner thigh. Okay, begin to walk your hands back through the center and all the way to the top of your mat. Come to a lunge for a moment. Walk your right foot over to the right edge of your mat and lower your back left knee down to the ground. Place the forearms down inside your right foot. Just finding a nice lizard lunge here for a couple breaths, opening that right knee over to the right side of the room. Deep breaths into the right outer hip. Bring your hands to the ground if you've come down onto your forearms and step the right foot back to meet your left foot. Land in a high plank pose, and you can take yourself through a vinyasa or just lift the hips right up and back to downward facing dog. Stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Left foot steps forward lightly, high crescent lunge. Come all the way up to standing. Remember the inner thighs here. So working the left sit bone back and the right hip a little forward. The scissoring action of the left inner thigh towards the right. And carefully, slowly lower your right back knee all the way down to the floor. Keep the arms lifting up towards the ceiling. If you need to readjust as you come into this position, go ahead, lowering the hips forward and down. Take one more deep, deep breath in. Exhale, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Shift your hips backwards. Flex your left toes towards your face and fold forward and down. Really work the breath here. Allow it to hold you in this big hamstring stretch. A breath in lengthens out your spine, and the breath out draws you into the forward fold. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. And to lift the gaze a little bit, walk the hands out in front of you, revisit that high crescent lunge. So we'll come off that back right knee, lift the arms up towards the ceiling, take a breath in as you rise up, open up warrior two, pivoting the right back heel down, reaching out long. So a little bit longer in the bend in the left front knee. Stay strong with it. Inhale, straighten the left leg out. Lift and reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, triangle pose. Reach the left arm forward and down. A little lift of the right hip up and back. And peel the right shoulder up away from the ground. Get broad across the collarbones there. Really press down through the feet and try and hug the legs in towards each other. And some engagement, some firmness on the lower body. And lower the right hand on down to the floor. Walk the hands right as you pivot the left toes to the right side of the room. Land in just a forward fold here for a moment. Take a breath in and lengthen your spine. Exhale, revisit the forward fold, allowing your head to get heavy, maybe crown of the head towards the floor. Keep the feet pointed in the same direction and walk your hands to the right back foot, bending just a little into that right back knee, a lateral lunge to the back of your mat. Let the inner line of the left leg open up. Just a drop of curiosity, and we go a little bit deeper into that back right knee. Okay, walk the hands back through the center and to the top of your mat. Pivot the left foot to the front of the room and then walk that left foot all the way over to the left edge of your mat. Lower down onto your back right knee and place the forearms down to the ground or blocks right underneath them. Widen the left thigh bone over to the left side. And even an option to lean onto the knife edge of your left foot. Connect to the breath here, but steady and strong. Forearms lift back up onto the hands, downward facing dog. Left foot steps back to meet your right foot and shift it forward through a high plank or stay in down dog. If you want a vinyasa, take it here, lowering through chaturanga. And into an upward facing dog on an inhale, downward facing dog, exhale. Begin to lift your heels up on a breath in, bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, jump or step all the way forward. Halfway lift up, inhale, fold and exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach and lift your arms. And draw your hands right into heart center. Stand on the left foot and draw your right knee up and in towards your chest. And place your left hand to your left hip. And then that right hand can either be right around the knee or the fingers can wrap around your big toe, just depending on the openness in your hamstrings, your hips here. So find a posture that feels steady, strong, and full of breath. Take a deep breath in at the middle. And exhale, open that right leg or the right knee over to the right side of the room. The left hand can stay right on your left hip or reach the left arm over to the left side of the space. Maybe even shift your gaze over towards that left extended arm. Place the left hand back to your left hip and draw the right knee back in through the center. Keep it lifted, draw your hands into your heart center and cross your right foot over your left knee for figure 4 here. So right foot crosses over the left knee, hands to your heart. Like you're sitting into an imaginary chair, sit your seat back and down. Hands can stay right at the middle of your chest, or they can come to the ground in front of you. Flex your right toes and allow that right outer hip to open up. Slowly begin to make your way back up to standing. Draw your right knee up and in towards your chest. You got it. One more breath in and lower that right foot on down to the floor. Shake your hips out a little bit side to side here and get ready for side 2. And thank yourself that you've only got 2 sides today. Draw your left knee up and in towards your chest and place the right hand just to your right hip. That left hand can stay around the left knee or the fingers can wrap around your left big toe as you kick the foot forward towards the front of the room. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, open the knee or the whole leg over to the left side. Right hand can stay on your right hip or reach over to the right side of the room. If it feels okay on your balance and your neck, turn your head towards the right and gaze out towards that right hand. Lengthen your tailbone towards the floor and a little lift of the chin. And draw the left knee back in towards the center. Place the right hand on your right hip for a second there. And bring your hands into your heart center and cross your left foot over your right knee for figure 4 here. A hip opener on the left side. Hands to the heart or hands to the floor out in front of you. Flex your left toes and direct the breath to the left side. Really ground down through that right foot. Come all the way back up to standing. Draw the left knee up and in towards your chest. You got it. One more breath in. And step the left foot down to meet your right foot. Shake the hips out again. A little side to side. Wiggle them. Stretch them. And reach your arms up towards the sky. Big breath. Exhale. Fold forward and down over the legs. Halfway lift up. Breathe in. And come all the way on down to a seat. A couple leg opening poses here on the ground together. So stretch your right leg out in front of you. Tuck your left foot to the inside of your right thigh for Jani Shavasana here. So inhale, take the arms up and over your head. A little turn of the left side of your waist over towards the right knee as you fold forward and down. Hands can grab for your shin, your ankle, or maybe all the way to that front foot. Remember the breath here. Inhale, lengthen the heart. Exhale, fold forward and down. One more time like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come back up to a seat. Just simply switch out the legs. Stretch your left foot forward and right foot to the inside of the left. Inhale, take the arms up and over your head, really nice and tall. Exhale, fold forward and down, slight turn of the right side body towards the left knee. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more time, inhale, exhale. Inhale, back up to a seat. One more forward fold. Stretch both of the legs out really long here. Reach arms up and over your head. Long spine. Fold forward and down towards the legs. If you need to, bend the knees a little bit here to make this fold accessible in your body. Important to have just a little tip of the pelvis forward. Catch breath. Hold it steady. Inhale back up to a seat. Exhale slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Roll all the way down to your back. Find a comfortable position here on the floor for Shavasana. We'll rest here together for a couple minutes and I will guide you out shortly. Start to move your body around just a little bit here. Wiggle out your fingers and your toes. Then take a really big body stretch. Arms up and over your head, legs out in front of you. Deep breath in. Roll gently on over to one side. Take a moment in this space in between your practice and the rest of your day to truly appreciate carving out this time for yourself. When you take this time for yourself, you are better able to show up for everything else. Come all the way up to a seat. You can cross your shins, sit up tall. Bring your hands into your heart center. Empty out your breath. And we'll breathe in for Om. Lift your thumbs right on up to your forehead. And from my heart to yours, namaste.